Hey guys, welcome back to the OB. That's the Out of Body Experience Experiment. I am your host and scientist, Ryan M. Stanley. Today is day 12 of the Out of Body Experience Experiment. Similar to yesterday, we are still on track with no out of body experience. I did not lucid dream last night. In fact, I did have some distressing dreams this morning. I woke up, I did not sleep well. I woke up a couple different times. So tracking the experiment. I woke up probably around 3, and my son came in around 6, and I got up after that and came downstairs and meditated. Had an amazing meditation, though. Shortly after, went back to bed to rest a little bit and had some really quality time of gratitude and awareness in my bed as I relaxed a little bit this morning. Put the blindfolds on, shades down. Didn't just sleep, but just was grateful for life for about an hour or so. Anyway, again, just tracking what is occurring as I go through this thing. But there was a piece of me as it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm waking up for who knows what reason. It could be waking up because of the OBE. I could just be waking up because life is an adventure, and sometimes you wake up, which happens to me, and it has always happened to me before. I started in this experiment. I would wake up randomly throughout the night, here and there, not all the time, but anyway. So it's not a huge surprise. The difference now is when I wake up, I go right into, okay, so let me just start visualizing the downstairs. Let me start doing this mantra. Often I will create gratitude. I'll just lie there and create gratitude for a little bit. But also now, because I'm in the middle of this experiment, I will go right into the imagining myself visualizing the 3 objects, and this whole both sides of this wall is really, I come down here and I imagine myself closing the doors behind me. I think I shared this in one of the other day 1 or 2, but I go to the left, which is actually I go to my left when I walk in because I'm walking in backwards. So I can start there. I do all this stuff over there. I touch that lamp. I kind of lift up the elephant a little bit. And I touch the book since I wrote it, like stuff that I'm familiar with. And then I move across and I do the same thing. I look through his albums. I always know what album, because before I go to bed, I look at all this. I put my hand on the warm lamp. I feel it. I open a book up there. There's a couple books I have up there. I open one of them. So I've kind of created this ritual now, I suppose. But I'm really just planting seeds I do this right before I go to bed. So I'm remembering all this. And then so in the middle of the night when I wake up, that's what I start to do. And so as I'm doing this, again, the same feelings are occurring. So a couple different things that occurred to me. 2, we'll start with 1. We can start with 2, but let's get crazy and start with 1. First of all, if you recall on episode 1 or episode day 1, I talked about a crazy dream that I had not long, maybe sometime within the last year, before I had anything like an out-of-body experience, which I still, to be clear, have not. And it was this dream where somebody had put their either their hand on my shoulder or a sword on my shoulder or a baton. I have no idea. They just put it on my shoulder, and I had this amazing feeling that was just curling into the most restful, peaceful pins and needles I've ever had. And so this morning, as I was lying there in bed, I tried a little bit of the visualizing. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go back to sleep and have an OBE right now. Who knows? We never know when it's going to come. By the way, that's the exciting part about this experiment. I know each day I'm coming back and saying it hasn't happened yet, but I'm just letting you know that's the riveting. That's the riveting part here. It could happen at any time. So anyway, I'm lying there this morning, curl up in my bed, kind of relaxing a little bit after coming out of a meditation, feeling gratitude, creating love for life, think about all the wonderful things, not only that I have now, but that I'm manifesting for the future. And I kind of start getting that similar feeling. It's very, now I'm recognizing the tingling from the visualizing as I was extra comfortable in getting it this morning and not even waiting for the OBE, not even expecting anything, not even really trying anything, but just lying there and relaxing, enjoying life. And I started to feel something very similar. I realized that there is a connection. And so I am super excited to see whatever this next level turns into. That was 1. 2, there is a piece of me as I'm going to bed last night, like, oh my gosh, day 12, here I go. The exception of day 5 when I was out with my buddies till 4 a.m, I've been really putting time and effort into this every night, and we're with only, minimal results. And it occurred to me that there's so many of us that do this in so many different areas of our life all the time. So I came into this, I said 60 days, and obviously I'm doing the 60 days. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. But there's part of me when it's something to do, right? It becomes an obligation suddenly. Like, well, if I'm doing this experiment, I have to do it. And when not getting the results, we get impatient. And we decide to quit easily. We come up with all the reasons why it's lame or dumb or doesn't work. But the people who are successful in anything, including an out-of-body experience experiment, are the ones who stay consistent. And 12 days is nothing. I mean, obviously, even 60 days is nothing. 2-3 years, depending on what you're trying to do, is nothing. And there's so many of us that do the absolute minimum until it's not fun anymore. There's tons of people over there who start podcasts and really they make it past maybe, I hope, a couple months, but fall off because life gets in the way and things get crazy. So my message today that just came up for me as I was thinking about this experiment and some of the new things that it's also bringing to me is a reminder that, keep going. And you have to have patience with yourself and with whatever you want. If you want something, you want to experience something, be willing to put in the time and effort. Be willing to show up on purpose every single day, sometimes for multiple hours. The trick is to surrender to the flow. Decide who you want to be and go be it. When life slows you down, it's your choice and job to pick it back up, to step on the gas, to do something about it, or rest, but keep going. In fact, this book it's called Be Patient, Be Present, Be Joyful. It's a book that I wrote. And the epilogue is keep going. And I'm a life coach. I had a coaching client this past week, and we talked a lot about it. We used life as a comparison to California. If you're on a trip to California and you stop the car, right? You're not going to get to California. It's cool to get out and look at stuff. It's cool to see what else you like along the way. You might find a place and decide that you want to hang out there for a while. But then don't say, oh, I never made it to California. You chose not to go to California. So I don't know why I'm just sharing this. I'm sharing it because it came up for me last night. And I want to start bringing some sort of value to any calls. I mean, any of these calls. Well, they're calls, I suppose, if you're listening. I want to bring value to any of these videos for those who are disappointed that we're not getting the out-of-body experience yet. Time, patience, intention, follow through. That's what the adventure is all about. And then the cool part is now, we'll look back whenever it does occur. Now, at this point, I have no doubt that at some point, again, I go back to William Buhlman, who wrote this book, who was kind of this guy who's had thousands of them. He said he tried every night for 3 weeks until it worked. And I'm on less than 2. So we'll keep going. It's Saturday night. We'll see what the night brings. So be patient with yourself. Be present with yourself. Be joyful with yourself. Create gratitude as often as possible. Decide what to be, go be it, and be consistent with it. Look for the lessons and then keep going. I appreciate your awesomeness. Thank you for checking in. Any questions, comments, thoughts on out-of-body experiences, lucid dreams, experiences about any of the above, leave them in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to the conversation. And I will see you tomorrow on the other side. P.S. I want to share one other thing. As I was going back to bed today, like this morning, I actually didn't end up really sleeping. It was just a nice, peaceful time to rest and kind of relax. But as I was doing that, there was this feeling of not needing to have it done, like not needing to have the OBE done or lucid dream done. And it was the first time, I think, in the 12 days that I was like, I know it wasn't at night, but I think there's also a lesson here of so much time, like needing it to happen. Oh my gosh, is it going to happen? And which is cool to get excited about it, whatever. But there's an energy about, I'm somewhere actually, so let me put it this way. I'm somewhere in between knowing that it's going to happen, being excited for it to happen, but also there's some slight impatience there, like when is it going to happen? And I want to be prepared. Like I don't think it's going to be bad, but there is some anxiety, I don't know if that's the right word, anticipation energy, as opposed to allowing energy. And this morning, as I was kind of crawling back into bed after a meditation, there was an allowing energy. It was just like, oh, you know what? Wouldn't that be amazing if it just happened now? That'd be cool. And that was it. There was no whatever. I was just happy to be. It could have just been that I just finished a meditation. I was super relaxed. And so who knows? That's just a bonus. The bonus lesson for today is allow things to happen as well. And when we do that and we feel that, it's just a better way to enjoy the process of creating. Thanks for being you.